just trying to change the world here, people.
Oh, really?
The Facebooking and the tweeting and the Instagramming, all that would not exist without our understanding of science.
It's amazing how you do that as an insult.
You mean for you, it's different from true for anybody else?
Yeah, absolutely, because I can't
Some things
prove
either got to be true or not.
I can't. No.
Well, hello there again. Good evening, ORly Radio listeners. This is ORly Radio Show 66 for Friday, July 10th, 2015, where we dismantle the current events for your edutainment through mostly rational conversations that make you go, oh, really? I'm your host, Andy Cowen, with my usual suspect tonight, David O'Connor. Welcome.
What is up? Back in video.
Yes, back in video, back in black, I guess.
Back in black.
Yeah, etc. Well, back in the internet at least, and that's exactly. Excellent. I love a little musical interlude. It's fantastic. So, we had a little bit of errata from last week. You know those Oklahoma bakers from Sweet Cakes by Melissa? Yeah, well, they were fined $135,000 for damages. But you see, these damages, they weren't just because they were bigots and were, being bad to people. No. That has hardly anything to do with it. It's because those bastards actually shared the lesbians that were trying to get the cake for them. That they shared their address on Facebook and encouraged harassment.
That's never a good plan for success.
Very bad, very bad. So things went out on the internet, and they were
flogged.
They were flogged for $135K. All right, so yes, we make mistakes, so please, if you find one, just pause the podcast right now and send us a note. orlyradiopodcast@gmail.com, or phone it in at 470-222-6759, or ORly, ORly. All right, so we got some quick headlines here, but okay, yeah, all right. I just wanted to give you a little tease, because I know that a lot of people, they'll start a video broadcast or an audio podcast or whatever, and then they'll get completely bored and run away. I don't want you to do that, because I have with me a new toy, and that toy is the Amazon Echo, and I'm going to do a little bit of a preview here at the end. It's red right now because I have it not listening, but just to... There we go. And let's see. Alexa, how tall is the Empire State Building?
The Empire State Building's height is 1,250 feet, 381 meters.
She's an obedient little thing. And so far, so good. So more from Alexa and Amazon Echo later on in the show after we're done. So, on to the headlines. Modified mosquitoes begin blitz on Dengue.
Ding fever.
Dengue, that's it.
Dengue, like
Dengue in Brazilian City. That's out on New Scientist. I hope that it's actually accurate. Also, latest numbers show that at least 5-meter sea level rise has been locked in. Another out on New Scientist. That's not so good. Not so good.
Not so good for you, but I moved to a higher ground.
That's true. I'm down here in the lowlands in Florida. All right.
That will all be gone.
Yeah. Earth's shrinking crust could leave us living on a water world. I don't even know. Could Waterworld actually be prophetic? That concept alone is frightening. Also, the Central Florida Free Thought Community, an atheist group here in the Brevard County area, has sued the Brevard County Board for religious discrimination because they were not allowed to do a religious invocation. Well, a secular invocation, I should say. So, up to the courts they go. All right.
About time.
Yeah. A man poses as an armored truck employee and walks out of Walmart with $75,000.
Eh.
It's a beautiful crime, really.
Who can you trust?
Nobody. Former Saudi foreign prime minister Prince Saud al-Fazil dies. Who knows what that will mean for us?
Who knows?
Who knows? Hopefully The Guardian has some insight on that, and that's where that article is from. Magic the Gathering gets its own version of Netflix.
Rental spare deck.
Oh no, not even spare decks. Rental like dream decks. So go get your nerd on and maybe save some money in the process. Maybe. And Japan has accepted a U.S. robot duel challenge. We're talking like mech warrior stuff here. Full-on robot suits.
The American suit fires 5-pound paintballs.
Yeah, it's really impressive. There's a video out on thenerdist.com, and you can go take a look at that by going out to our webpage at www.orlyradio.com and finding the show notes for show 66. And with that, let's hear a little bit from one of our friends, the Guerrilla Skepticism on Wikipedia Project.
Are you annoyed by misinformation spreading like crazy, and you want to stop the flood of nonsense coming from all directions? Go to Wikipedia, as do all those millions out there. Did you know there's an edit button on all Wikipedia articles? Why don't you go and hit that button to start making the world's largest online encyclopedia a more reliable source of information? If you're specifically interested in skeptical topics, come and join us at Guerrilla Skepticism on Wikipedia, an international endeavor to change the world for the better, word by word. There are many ways you can contribute. You just need to start. You speak several languages, all the more reason to join us. We provide training and all the help you need. If you want to make a change, there's a nice community waiting for you out there. Contact us at gsowteam@gmail.com, visit our website, that's guerrillaskeptics.com, or check out the Guerrilla Skepticism on Wikipedia Facebook page.
And in the good this evening, we've got some interesting stories from Florida, amazingly enough.
There's good stuff in Florida?
On occasion. Of course, we're not the first ones to do it. That has already been taken by several other states. But they have made a... well, it's on the heels of the recent Supreme Court decision that gerrymandering...
is bad, Kai.
Bad. And that the citizens have a right to say, no, that's not what we want. You can't do that. So you can definitely go out to the SCOTUS blog and see the recent decision, or, of course, you can also come take a look at this article. Florida Supreme Court orders redrawing of some U.S. congressional... Sorry, internet hairball. Redrawing of some U.S. congressional districts. The Florida Supreme Court on Thursday ordered the redrawing of the congressional districts before the 2016 elections.
Which is what they should have frigging done in the first place.
Uh-huh. But now this is a game changer. Florida's terribly gerrymandered.
Oh, yeah.
In a 5-2 ruling, the state's high court found that the legislature's redistricting plan was tainted by, quote, unconstitutional intent to favor the Republican Party and incumbents. The latest decision in a long-running legal battle over gerrymandering in the state, the court identified at least 8 congressional districts out of the state's 27 that need to be redrawn, including the seat currently occupied by Democrat Corey Brown of Jacksonville. Adjacent districts will also be affected. The state's congressional maps, and in particular Brown's oddly shaped district, stretching from Jacksonville to the Orlando area. I just wanted to point out that it takes 2.5 hours to drive that. Okay,
that's one district.
That's the weird meandering thing that they've created there, and they've been subject to ongoing litigation. The circuit A circuit court judge ruled last year that the legislature's 2012 maps, quote, made a mockery of anti-gerrymandering provisions in the state's constitution.
Yeah.
The court has made it abundantly clear that partisan gerrymandering will not be tolerated, said attorney David King, representing a group of plaintiffs led by the League of Women Voters of Florida and Common Cause. The state's high court urged the maps to be redrawn on an expedited basis.
They have 100 days.
Beautiful 100 days. So, I'm ecstatic. I didn't even see this ruling until just like about right before we went on. And it's like, well, any other good news, which, by the way, the other good news was that there was robots fighting.
The good news of robots fighting. And this is all coming out of, the previous week, which was incredible. So, I mean, like...
Yeah, the Republican Party has got to be just, like, shitting their pants.
Dude, 2016 is going to be a bloodbath. This is literally like, it feels as though they've been holding up a pendulum and just slowly pushing it up as high as they could go, and it broke.
Yeah, they're up on their tippy toes, pushing, and then boom, they slip, it falls, it hits them on the head, and then keeps on swinging.
Yeah, no, it hit them in the ass and is driving them. They're going to ballista.
Now, just imagine the absolute Republican panic over this, and what they're going to say about how unfair it is that they can't, have control over districting.
They shouldn't.
It's going to be amazing, because it's the thing is they're going to lose because it's being made fair.
Yeah.
That's why they're going to lose.
Isn't that an irony?
Because I'm sorry, no one's going to play with you, even if you do tie that stake.
And these are the guys who scream about all the supposed voter rigging.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Now, certainly, yes, it's on both sides, as was indicated in the article. But, yeah, they are way more guilty of it than anyone else. And that's obvious. It's in the numbers. Though, yes, you can fudge numbers to your heart's content in some areas. The numbers are still facts, and if you look at the facts, it pans out. Sorry guys, y'all suck. And with that, David, you get to do the logical fallacy this week.
Alrighty. Your logical fallacy this week is special pleading. You moved the goalposts or made up an exception when your claim was shown to be false. So humans are funny creatures and have a foolish aversion to being wrong. Rather than appreciate the benefits of being able to change one's mind through better understanding, many will invent ways to cling to old beliefs. One of the most common ways that people do this is to post-rationalize a reason why they thought to be true, why what they thought to be true must remain to be true. It's usually very easy to find a reason to believe something that suits us, and it requires integrity and genuine honesty with oneself to examine one's own beliefs and motivations without falling into the trap of justifying our existing ways of seeing ourselves and the world around us. Example, Edward Johns claims to be psychic, but when his abilities were tested under proper scientific conditions, they magically disappeared. Edward explained this, saying that one had to have faith in his abilities for them to work.
U.S. jets intercepted a Russian bomber. Actually, I'm sorry, bomber.
Multiple.
Off the California and Alaska coasts on July 4th. Now, in theory, this doesn't really make a hill of beans of difference, and they're reporting that they suspect it was just a training exercise. The thing is, training exercises don't have to be awfully close to your nearest nuclear neighbor. I'm just going out on a limb there. They really don't need to be flying.
It's saber rattling.
It is saber rattling, and the reason this is in the bad is because, well, Russia's been doing a lot of saber rattling.
Nobody wins when people start rattling their sabers, except unless you're a defense contractor.
Right.
Then you make a lot of money off of war, but people are dying. So. kind of sucks.
Yeah. So the article itself, just so that everyone gets a clear picture here, on July 4th, too, our Independence Day. So this is definitely saber rattling in a directly pointed direction. Two pairs of Russian Tupolev Tu-95 bombers approached the U.S. West Coast, causing the Air Force to scramble to intercept the planes before they breached U.S. airspace. Fox News reports that the first incident occurred at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time off the coast of Alaska when NORAD identified the Russian planes and two F-22s hurried to intercept them. Another incident occurred at 11 a.m. Eastern Time off the coast of Central California and was responded to by two F-15s. The Russian bombers they intercepted are capable of carrying nuclear weapons, but sources do not indicate whether or not they were armed. The U.S. Air Force intercepted the bombers before they entered American sovereign airspace, which extends 12 miles out from the coast, but the presence of the bombers is an ominous sign during the heightened tensions between Russia and the U.S. This is like straight out of the 1980s.
It totally is. We're back.
Yeah.
We're back, baby.
Such an exciting time. No, it's bad, people. This is bad. Continuing the article, as retired Air Force Lieutenant General Thomas McInerney told who formerly commanded the North American Aerospace Defense Command, that would be NORAD for short, told the Washington Free Beacon, "It's becoming very obvious that Putin is testing Obama and his national security team. The type of warfare being teased is reminiscent of the Cold War, not only in theory, but in practice. Quote, these long-range aviation excursions are duplicating exercises I experienced during the height of the Cold War when I commanded the Alaska NORAD region." Pentagon officials haven't given the exact location of the interceptions, but ABC News cites one official as saying that it could have taken place as far out as 200 miles. The Pentagon's John Kirby told the Free Beacon that they assessed the flight of the Russian bombers as another training activity. Yes, another training activity, just another rehearsal for Armageddon.
Yeah, rehearsal for Armageddon. You know, and it's we do this shit all over the world, and our news doesn't report that, you know, we're invading other people's sovereign airspace with our planes as much as they probably should, you know.
Well,
because
we do. They just happen to be with unmanned drones that happen to be armed.
No, we have manned planes too.
Yeah, we do that too. Yes, but
we do that too, and those usually kind of skirt along the edge of their airspace, and maybe they're in and maybe they're not, but they're definitely listening to your radio.
Yes, they are.
So I mean, it's. We really need to have a sit-down talk about what our military is doing out there in the world and why these countries are behaving this way towards us.
Yeah, you see, I hadn't... The reason I wanted to really bring this up is because I hadn't heard it anywhere else.
Yeah.
That these kind of tensions are continuing to escalate. And I don't want to be a fearmonger. I just want to be aware of the political situations in the world. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you need to put your tinfoil hats on. I'm not trying to create any Russian panic or anything like that. The Red Scare is not necessary or anything like that here. It's just a matter of being aware that stuff's happening in the world and it's not pretty, and we're not necessarily the ones that are going to win out in the end.
We're not necessarily the good guys in the story.
No, we're not. And that is probably the hardest pill for anybody to swallow, is that no, America is not necessarily the good guy in this.
No, I will say that Americans as a whole are just chock full of good intentions.
Yes.
But the road to hell is paved on those.
Yeah, it is paved with good intention. But also, we just have a tremendous apathy for all of it. We don't know, nor do we care that this happened. For the most part, it's like whatever. That doesn't mean anything to us.
If anything, this is being kept out of the news because they don't want it reported that the Russians were, taking a hostile stance towards us on our true, like, really big "This is America Day" holiday.
Yeah, really on America Day, what we probably ought to do is just load up a C-130 with tons and tons of, like, Levi's and American clothes, things that people typically try to get through import-exports, on the cheap, and just carpet bomb them with pants. I think that would really change the change the landscape.
It would be very blue.
I'm being completely facetious, really.
Very blue.
That would be terrible.
All that denim.
Yeah, it'd be terrible, probably. Especially since all of them are made in China or Honduras or something like that, so it's not even made in America.
Well, that's what that's actually what happens to old Super Bowl jerseys for their losing team, because they've made all the clothes and whatnot, so they've got the shirts ready. And so if you go to some of these third world countries, you'll see them with, like, Super Bowl champion T-shirts for the losing team.
Oh man, yeah, that's right. I had completely forgotten that they do that.
They do that. That's one of their charity things that they do. And I'm like, that's almost like slapping somebody in the face with the gift horse.
Yeah, it kind of is. Well, I think that's enough about Russia. So,
Hi, ORly Radio listeners. This is your host, Andy Cowen, calling my voicemail to make sure that it still works. Please consider calling us, 470-222-6759. Bye.
in the news, the Donald Trump has continuing to somehow maintain relevance, even though he's an incredibly bigoted, arrogant. Wow, there's so many adjectives that I can choose from. That
basically all you have to say about this is Trump says incredibly racist things, and people on the right flock to him by the drove, saying that he's absolutely right and blah blah blah, and they still wonder why we think that most, the bulk majority of the racism in this country is propagated by the right wing.
I have no idea what you're talking about. That's not even possible, is it?
Well, it's all the racism is on the left.
Right, yeah, with that double reverse racism. Yeah, that's got to be it, or something.
Yes.
Like double secret probation. Yeah, I think that's got to be it too.
It's true. It truly is doublethink.
Yeah, it is. Now, this is both good news and bad news. So it's really the perfect thing to put in the ugly category. Because really, this divisiveness that having so many people in the GOP clown car, it's spreading them so thin that only the really radical ones are going to be able to pop up and actually make a difference, because they also are all running on exactly the same platform. All of them. None of them sound any different from each other, other than the weird skeletons they have in their closet that keep showing up during the news cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got Donald, who somehow, by insulting our nearest southern neighbor and all of her inhabitants, calling them racists and
rapists and thieves.
Yeah, all of these things. Well, no, there's some of them that are good people, I'm sure. These amazing statements, things that make the Jon Stewarts and the Stephen Colberts of the world giddy, absolutely giddy. And somehow, that's not a joke to the GOP. That is
a rallying cry.
Yeah, he's up to 16%.
He's in the number 2 spot.
Yeah,
he went from Trump's running to very real possibility that he could win their fucking nomination.
How can this be the reality in 2015? How can such an arrogant, giant, racist douchebag?
Because they're reaping what they have sown for 30 flippin' years. And they have sown racism, and they have sown arrogance, and they have sown just total douchebaggery, and that's the demographic that they are really they've really fostered in this country, and made them feel like there's a home if you're a racist jackass.
It's staggering. It is so staggering. I don't care really at this point who gets the Democratic nod, because they are going to have to they're going to have to debate whoever the GOP props up on their platform.
They're probably going to have to debate 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the ugliest, most, like, if you stacked them on a pendulum of, here's the Democrat and here's all the GOP over here, it's going to be winning.
Yeah. It doesn't even matter who it is at this point. I've definitely fallen in a bromance with Bernie. I think that he is definitely...
I think America is falling into bromance with Bernie.
He has had so many amazing turnouts at his events. It's staggering. It's unheard of to have this many people in relatively low population areas. It's like, did you just pull in the entire city? Like, everybody? That's amazing. I mean, he was... we've talked about it before. It doesn't really matter. He's getting thousands of people, where other
tens of thousands
are getting a couple hundred at best, and then
they're paying them.
Yeah,
the GOP candidates are paying people to show up, unless you're what's his face, Santorum, who didn't get the memo that you should pay people to show up at your rallies.
Yeah,
and literally sat down with 2 people and had lunch with them.
And one of them was the event coordinator. That's how bad it was.
That's just bad.
Yeah, it's amazingly awful.
I don't know how he got up from that table and moved on to his next campaign event. I would be crushed.
It is a testament to their tenacious veracity for continuing on.
That, or just straight up cognitive dissonance.
There's probably a lot of that too. Yeah. Okay. Well, there's so much news out there. It's flooded. I just wanted to have a little commentary on how absolutely redonkulous the Republican Party is, and I am going to have. I may do a simulcast, a live stream of any of these debates. Certainly, once we finally get, man, how are they going to narrow down all those people that they're going to have on the stage when they finally try to narrow down the GOP primary?
Know what we need to do? We need to MST3K the debates.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. That's what we're going to do.
It's going to be beautiful.
I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it.
I have said this, I'm sure, in episodes past, but I want my fucking prophecy out there one more time, and that is, I just want to say I fucking called this a year ago, that this is what we were going to see. This is the failure that they have set themselves up for when they invented the Tea Party.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely...
They are we are watching the core of the Republican Party be grasped and have its heart ripped out and in half and just blood spray everywhere. This is geopocalypse.
Yeah, and the thing is, you could have the Tea Party and you could have the GOP Republicans. You could have the Republicans and you could have the GOP. I mean, no.
But individually, neither one of those groups will
ever party reference. Just you could have the Republicans and you could have the Tea Party, is what I mean. And you could have that. They could exist as separate parties. But unfortunately, because of their machinations, they have made a giant cluster. And it's all bad. And now, neither brand is going to live. It is going to have to... All the people, the people that are in there that are rational human beings, smart, rational human beings with good ideas and good intentions for this country, that are in the Republican camp, that are on that more conservative-leaning side. I know you're out there, and I know that you hate what's going on. Where are you going to go? Because eventually, you're going to have to form another party. You're going to have to give up on the name recognition of being a conservative, of being a Republican, of being a Tea Partier, or whatever you're calling yourselves these days. You're going to have to give up on that if you're going to save the ideology that you actually hold dear. You're going to have to build something else, and I don't see that happening yet.
It's over. It is literally over. This is the end of us having what we'll consider a two-party system. We're going to have the Democratic Party, and then we're going to have splinters. And that is what is going to be left.
The Democrats and everybody else.
It would be the Democrats and everybody else.
I wonder how well Jill Stein is going to do with the Green Party. I wonder how well all of the other parties are going to do in this election cycle.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is a lot of the other parties do not have the appeal that the GOP had. So it's literally going to be... Those parties are still going to exist, and I believe that they're still going to just be marginalized into, the little camps that they've got now. I don't see them having a big surge. What I see is there's going to be the GOP and the Tea Party are going to split. And that's going to happen in December of 2016 when their presidential candidates lose by such a colossal margin that it is like it will literally be the 5 stages of grief throughout the December holidays as they try to just come to grips with, Romney lost by 3%. And that was considered a staggering loss.
I don't even see how that math is staggering.
He lost by 3 or so million votes, and he lost by roughly 3% of the voting population. And that was considered a really bad loss for Romney. This next one, it's going to be... That's going to look like Christmas Day.
Yeah, this next one's going to be...
we were so close. We were within 3%. No, this is going to be double digits. It's going to be I feel it's going to be so unbelievably bad that is the straw which will break the camel's back and officially split the GOP into the GOP and the Tea Party, who will go on to the greatness of losing the next election and the next election and the next election. And they will never again see a conservative in the White House.
Think it's going to be that marginalized? You really think so?
I think they would have to come up. They would literally have to reinvent themselves, and then they would have to come up with a candidate like Bernie, who is so charismatic and so just unflappably good. This guy had it right for 30 years.
Yeah, he really has.
And you listen to the sound bites from 30 years ago, he had it right then, and he has it right now.
Yeah, well, the thing about Bernie is he has not changed.
No.
He has not waffled. He has been the same strident for progress person that he has always been.
Yeah.
Since he stood in the march with Martin Luther King.
And he's got it right on the social and on the economic fronts. And he's going to just slaughter. I actually see him taking down Hillary at this point. Which I did not think that...
I totally think so, yeah.
But in the long game, if Hillary's just out there getting the mega donors and then agrees to be his VP,
I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm really curious who these people are going to pick as their running mate. I really wonder who it's going to be. I have no idea. I really didn't think Joe Biden was going to be, a VP.
Obama's?
Yeah, it's like, where did he come from? I had no idea. And now, there's still talk that Biden may run. Maybe. But I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think he's fine. And I think he gets it, and that he's a truly good individual, but he also is terrible at live performance.
He's much better at being the vice.
He's in the perfect spot as the vice president.
Really is.
Hillary has the age on her side to where she could be under Bernie for 8 years and then be president for 8 years. And if they teamed up, dear God, the vice presidential debates would be worth watching just to see the absolute carnage bloodbath that it would be as Hillary literally picked the flesh from their bones and left carcasses on the stage.
She's a really good debater. She
just shell-shocked, who the fuck just happened to me kind of aftermath.
It's going to get ugly for him.
It's going to get ugly.
Really ugly for him.
I really see this as being 20 to 25% landslide, unbelievable loss for the GOP. And this is going to crush their soul. Yeah. And the immediate reaction will be anger, which will be immediately followed by the schism, and that will be the end.
Oh, man.
The greatness destroyed. The city of Rome will burn as Nero plays his fiddle made by the Koch brothers.
Nice. Okay. Well, enough of that. And now I promised that I would show the Amazon Echo Alexa here. Now, there are many things that it can do. For one thing, this is it's a well-engineered piece of equipment. It is essentially just an Android computer somewhere in here with a nice LED array indicating volume.
Is it aluminum?
No, it is plastic.
It's plastic. Okay.
It doesn't need to be aluminum. It does. It looks like it's aluminum, but it's heavy enough that it could have been. But that's because of the very powerful speaker they put in here. It's 360 degrees because it's a down-ported speaker, so it blows out to everything.
So they got a cone or something inside there, probably.
Yeah, it's a cone. I think it's probably a 2.5-inch driver with a nearly 2-inch magnet on it. I mean, it's beefy. Between that and having Wi-Fi control, and it does have Bluetooth, you can pair it with a little remote control that you can keep with you, and that. I'm comparing this basically to, this is your Star Trek computer that sits on your counter, and you just ask the computer to do something for you. And it does it. It is Star Trek. Okay? And having the remote is like having your little communicator that you would press and then talk to it. And that would be if you're in another room outside the range of the microphone array. There's a very sensitive microphone array in here, and it picks you up even after it's playing songs. It's really quite impressive. Let's see, what can we tell it to do? Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 10:17.
Time is 10:17. Alexa, what day is it?
Today is Friday, July 10th.
You heard it here first. Let's see.
Are those capacitive switches, or can you actually push in on them?
These are actual touch down. They're not capacitive. They are actual switches.
Okay.
Like a stop button, and this is just mute so that I can say Alexa all day long and it won't actually activate, which is important when we're talking about tech podcasts and people that actually say Alexa all the time. You can change the keyword to Amazon. So you're asking Amazon what to do, but I think Alexa's better because it shouldn't enter your vernacular all the time, and then you feel less like you're always shopping. They'll probably add some other things as time goes on, and that's the thing about this. It's infinitely upgradable because it attaches to your Wi-Fi, and all they do is just update the software. They're doing most everything in the cloud. It's got more power than, like, say, trying to do OK Google or something, as I turn on everybody's phone, than trying to do that on your phone, because the connection is better because it's using your home internet. So it's going to have a more rapid response time. It has high-powered, wireless antennas in it. It's good stuff. Hey,
is it battery powered?
It is. No. Play Pandora. Alexa, play Pandora.
Getting the most recently created station on Pandora. Concentration enhancing menu initializer radio.
So it is not battery powered. It does have a power brick, and you can go get more bricks. It has very good bass response. Of course, you guys are listening to me just holding it up to my microphone, and also I have children asleep in the back room, so I'm not going to turn it all the way up, but it does get significantly loud, and it broadcasts everywhere. Alexa, stop. Very, very simple. It's ridiculous. Alexa, set a timer for 15 seconds.
Starting now.
You can also set wake-up alarms. You can do amazing things with this. It's integrated with Amazon, so it'll also play your Audible books. It integrates with Pandora. Alexa, stop. And then the alarm is silent.
When they built this, do you imagine that they envisioned it being in your bedroom or your living room or your kitchen, or where?
They want it in the house.
Just somewhere.
Just somewhere where it can listen to you. If you have a small house, put it in the middle. It apparently is very popular for being in the kitchen, because then you can ask it things like, Alexa, how many pints are in a gallon? So, you can just ask it these random questions, and it will answer you. You do have to format them properly, like Alexa. See how it lights up? And then it stopped. Okay. Alexa, Wikipedia, Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln was the 16th President of the United States, serving from March 1861 until his assassination in April 1865. For the full Wikipedia article, take a look at the Echo app.
And that's a good segue, because there is an application that goes with it, because you can't interact with everything with your voice. There's some things that are just going to have to require other things. So the app lives on your phone, and you configure it, for your Wi-Fi through that. It was actually a very simple, painless process. One of the really neat things is that, and here's where it gets maybe a little creepy for some folks out there, okay? Inside the app, which you can see here, note that there's a picture of Abraham Lincoln right there. And also there's my Pandora station. So everything that it's doing is mimicked on the device. That also means that every single search query
is logged
and recorded. And you can go back and you can see what your search queries were. So I can see that how many pints are in a gallon. I can see that there was the timer set. Okay, there's my Pandora station. There's how tall is the Empire State Building. It's all there, which is actually fairly cool if you don't find it creepy. There's some people that want all this information to be very ethereal. You're wrong. It's not going to happen that way. Amazon is mining the hell out of your data. They want to know what you're going to search for. So if you search for something that they can't give you, of course, they're going to then take all those errors, all those misses, and they're going to analyze them, and they're going to see how they can make them hits.
Yep.
Because it makes you want to use the product more. The better it gets, the more sales they get. It's just logical. That's just what's going to happen. And we will reap the rewards. And I, for one, welcome our new robot overlords. And this is going to be a fantastic toy. I'll keep doing. I've got it. I paid $180 for the thing. Okay, I've got it. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to play with it for a long time.
I wonder if it syncs up with your Amazon TV, with Fire TV.
I believe it does, and you can then tell your Fire TV to play something, which then gives it a bit of an edge for your whole media center experience. Like you would say, Alexa, play on Fire, the latest episode of whatever. You could probably do that. It does also work with the Wemo controllers, the integrated Wemo hub. So it'll control the Philips Hue lights, so you can dim your lights. Also, you saw that I was controlling the volume. You can also tell it to the volume level, 1 through 10. Say, Alexa, volume 10, and then it'll just automatically go up there, or Alexa, volume lower, volume higher. It's really smart. I wasn't expecting to be as delighted by it, I suppose. And it's really impressive. I haven't tried Audible yet. I am a big audiobook fan, so that's going to be a great thing. But things to try. It gives you a list of things. One of them is creating lists. So if you're in your kitchen and you find something in your fridge that you've run out of, you can then say, Alexa, add turnips to my list, to my grocery list, and it will do that. And then you'd go into your Amazon Echo app when you're at the grocery store and see what's on your list.
Or one up that, Amazon will ship you groceries.
They have automatically buy things like Alexa, buy toilet paper. Seriously, things like that, or buy toothpaste, and it will then look at your previous order history and just order it again for you.
I considered buying an entire box full of sugar cubes.
Why?
Yeah, I like sugar cubes.
Okay, all right. I will say no more. So things to try. They've got categories. So like what's new, do more with your Echo audiobooks, Bluetooth voice requests, check your calendar, clock and timers, connected home device commands like changing lights, turning on coffee pots, things like that with the Wemo stuff. Discover and buy music. So you can have Amazon, if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, like almost everyone is these days, and you're playing the Prime library of like 3 million songs. You can then ask, okay, Alexa, what is this song? And then it will tell you, and then you can say, buy this song. And then there's 99 cents that they just got from you. Just like that.
Gee, I wonder why they wanted to develop this device.
Exactly. It is shopping. Obviously, it's shopping, but there's so much more. They also have the facts, like you can look up things on Wikipedia. You can ask it to define a word, and it'll give you the definition. The flash briefings from news outlets like BBC and NPR. NPR's defaulted. And then you pick your profiles. For you sports fans out there, oh my God, is it tailored for you? You can actually ask it for the score of a game in progress, and it will give it to you. The score right now, it will say, is this. So that's impressive. Sports, lots of stations, shows. You can ask about traffic and all sorts of things. And also, weather, voice training. Okay. Alexa, send that to my Fire tablet. Alexa, send that to my tablet. Alexa, show this on Sarah's Fire. Things like that. So anything that you are already, coming up with, you can send that to your other Amazon devices. So they've got quite the product here, and I'm genuinely impressed. I was impressed also with the Amazon Fire TV, but I sent it back because it didn't have the private listening feature, which is what I really like on the Roku 3. That was the one thing that it didn't have that I sent it back for. But otherwise, it was grand. It had one thing that the Roku does not, which is voice search, very similar to this, where you could hold the remote and say, exactly what you're searching for, and then you didn't have to type through on those dinky little remotes. So they're making progress. They're making some serious progress here, and I'm excited about it. So that's my extended preview for everyone's edification of the Amazon Echo with Alexa. So
sounds awesome, dude.
It's pretty darn slick, and also, imagine this, okay? Because I have small children. Here, let's do this. Alexa, tell me a joke.
What do you call a grizzly with no teeth? A gummy bear.
Oh.
It is filled with Rotary Club dad jokes. And my kids love it. So they are asking Alexa things. So, I asked Alexa, Wikipedia, great white shark, and it told me all sorts of things about the great white shark. And that would be things that they would be able to do. So if they have a question, they don't have to hold on to the question. They can ask. I would probably go to Wikipedia and ask. I would have to go do these things. Now I can do it with them, and we can look at that together, and then, continue to just riff with each other, not in front of a computer, but just like having that data source all around us all the time, available. And that is staggering. That is the future, people.
It's the next integration point.
Yes. Now, there is a funny. The very first thing that I asked it to do, of course, after telling me jokes, was to play some music. And the very first thing that it played was Daft Punk's Robot Rock. I found that poignant. I think it's trying to tell me something.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yes. So Amazon, well played. Well played, Amazon. David, do you have any picks?
Not tonight. Not tonight.
Not tonight. I think I took up the whole segment anyway. So
that's okay. Your thing's cool.
it's pretty.
I don't want to follow that act, even if I had something.
I am really excited about this stupid little piece of technology.
I can see that. I could see my girlfriend using that in the living room to control the TV, and to not have a remote control and just kind of lean over and go, Alexa, pause the program. Alexa, back up.
No, you don't even have to pause it. It will listen to you up to. You don't have to lean over, is what I mean. You can just speak normally, and it will pick you up like 15 feet away. It has a really absurd microphone, and that's while it's playing something else.
That's impressive levels of listening.
Yeah, we were. You've been at my house, but of course, the folks at home have not. I had it sitting in my kitchen, and we were in the dining room, and a friend walked by it, and as he's looking away from it, trying to talk to us, not to it, like he's making fun of it, okay? And he said something, Alexa, why are you evil, or something like that. And I can go back through the search history because it recorded it and had perfect recognition of what he said while he was faced away, almost whispering, in another room.
That's creepy.
It's a little creepy, but it's also so awesome.
Yeah.
I really, the voice recognition that they're doing, it hasn't missed yet. It is so far 100% accurate.
That's the power of the Amazon cloud, probably.
That is the Amazon cloud. It's completely. It's not doing.
So it's because it's going through your Wi-Fi connection. It's probably just streaming straight to the freaking cloud all the time. You should check to see the network data on that thing.
It's listening for the keyword.
Alexa.
It listens for that keyword, and then it will send. But that is,
I would still check it.
Sure, I could.
I would still check it.
I may. I'm really not that paranoid. And
It's not so much a thing of paranoia. It's more of, I suspect that one of the benefits of why they would go through the trouble of developing such a very acutely tuned-in microphone setup is to listen to people's conversations and get the real-time data feed of what are people talking about this instant. And if you have
that is absolute spying.
You agree to it with the end user license agreement, so who gives a fuck? Because you didn't.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Yes and no. The whole point of these devices is to mine your data, right?
Yeah. But I don't think it's mining the entire conversation, because still there's computational overhead there.
Sure.
So I'm going to go with laziness. Yes. Could it be done? Yes. Would it be at all practical to do? No. In fact, for what they're doing here, this is amazing. All they're doing is they're listening for the keyword that activates the send feature. It then grabs it, it processes it, and it returns it as fast as it possibly can.
Sure.
And I'm amazed. Okay, yeah, we're podcasting here. So I'm sending video on 2 different machines to make this happen, people. Okay? So I'm sending and receiving video data on 2 machines, doing plenty on the network, and still, that was real time. It was just as fast. It's pretty darn. So.
Well, audio doesn't take a whole lot of bandwidth overall on your data connection when you consider what your cable connection is capable of doing. My whole thing is this would be something that they are eventually going to want. To have the full conversation, just be able to turn on the microphone whenever, get a snippet, quote unquote anonymous, though it may be, but a snippet of the conversations which are happening right now, and be able to gauge the mood and say, we can tell you the overall mood on whatever thing that they want towards whatever thing that they want to listen in for.
I don't think computationally, again, I don't think that they would require listening into the content of the conversation. To determine a mood, if there is laughter, that is a certain timbre and pitch. So it'd be basic audio analysis to figure out the room.
Right.
That would be hardly anything.
So, like, if let's say you've got a news program streaming on your TV, and you start yelling, "Oh, come on! Oh, that's bullshit!" Those are little snippets that it might be able to pull out and go, "Yeah, people aren't liking this message." Well, and if you get enough of these out there, that's mineable data.
I would say that you're right on that, but there's so many people that love to be pissed off in this country that wouldn't be true. That'd be erroneous data. But besides that,
well, the data is whatever you make of it.
Yeah, well, Samsung already had a problem where they had their TVs, their intelligent smart TVs, already listening to the living room.
Yeah.
And they got in some serious hot water over that. So that is something that the Electronic Frontier Foundation and many of our other consumer rights organizations, they're not going to put up with that. That's going to be, plenty of lawsuits in the future.
I can think of a half dozen ways to surreptitiously get that data. Every time you say Alexa and it turns on that stream, you can burst.
I suppose. Hey, actually, you know what? Here, let's test this, okay? I'm unmuting the microphone. I'm turning my speakers on. Go ahead and ask it something.
Alexa, what was the score? Who won the women's soccer match?
I can't find the answer to the question I heard.
Yeah, because I screwed it all up. Sorry about that. Alexa, who won the women's world soccer tournament?
Didn't get that.
Alexa, who won the women's world soccer tournament?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question I heard.
Having a hard time with the speaker.
Well, it's either having a hard... Well, it did catch the voice...
The Alexa.
Yeah. So it's either having an issue with that, or it's just the question is not parsed properly.
Maybe.
So that might be harder. Like if there was a specific match, let's say, Alexa, who won the FIFA World Cup? Alexa, who won the FIFA World Cup?
Sorry, I don't have the answer to that question.
The database doesn't have that. You just ping the database with something that they're going to add.
Now they got to look it up. Yep. Like, wow, that guy wants to know about soccer. What the hell's wrong with him?
No, but my point is, it's capable of listening to you while you're listening to music.
Yes.
So it's capable of getting data while.
Well,
it has to be listening to some extent in order to catch the Alexa.
Yeah, but it's listening to that keyword.
Just listening for that. Yeah.
That's hard coded.
Mm-hmm.
Because as soon as it hears that keyword, it also dims the music that it's playing to try and get a clearer reception.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's doing a lot of noise canceling to cancel out. Amazingly enough, this is the one device that I've seen that actually cancels out what it's playing so that it can listen to other things.
Yeah.
We've known that they could do it the whole time. Why weren't they doing it? Well, now they have a practical purpose for it.
How much does this device cost again?
It is $180 on Amazon right now.
Okay. Maybe Christmas.
Maybe Christmas. Yeah, this was kind of an early.
Because as much as I go down the spy devices route, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't.
As many tinfoil hats as we can put on.
I can put on all the tinfoil hats. You know me. But
exactly.
I don't care because there is no place to hide.
It's true.
It's all gone. When you have a cell phone on your person, there is no place to hide.
It's true. Yeah, they're tracking you all the time. So,
yeah.
I, for one, welcome our new robot overlords.
Yeah. I'll be excited when the robot overlords finally take over for the rich people who are mining our data. But go on.
True enough on that one. Well, that's it for us tonight. We'll be back next Friday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. In the meantime, the conversation continues on the web. Head over to orlyrradio.com. That's orlyrradio.com for all the links right at the top of the page. And do watch us live or chat in the IRC if you can. And if you've liked what we've done here, you can help keep the lights on. Follow the Help Us link on the webpage, and that will take you over to patreon.com/Cowen, C-O-W-E-N. That's me. And if that's too rich for you, we completely understand. But hey, there's other ways to contribute to the show. You can give us topic ideas, news stories, corrections, advertising officers, unclaimed lottery tickets, hate mail, and unsolicited advice by emailing them to us at orlyradiopodcast@gmail.com. Oh, and you can also leave a voicemail at 470-222-6759. That's ORLY. And hey, we've got a subreddit. And yes, it's still open. And you can post and vote on stories over there. And hey, the best thing that you could possibly ever do, other than telling all of your friends about this wonderful show that you found, is leave us a glowing review on whatever platform you found us on. And of course, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Can't thank you enough for spending some time with us. And until next time, this has been ORly Radio, part of the Cowen Services Network. Music was created by Kevin MacLeod of Incomtech.com. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.